the more
What it
it's gonna
really
get
is that
pushed behind the
crimes
pile.
that you can solve in the first 48 hours are easy ones.
Slam dunks or dunks.
Yeah.
What do they call them on
And
The
based
Wire?
on The Wire, they're trying to get their clearance rates up, so they're not going to bother with the really difficult ones because right now, it is going down in Baltimore. Everybody's getting fired. Oh, and is this okay?
In The Wire,
Is
this
this
is,
this
right?
yeah in The Wire?
Okay.
And this the black guy's white lieutenant who has that crazy accent, that really weird accent. You know what I'm talking about?
You just said the black guy, and it's a show about with like a dozen black characters.
The black major.
As a white
Major
lieutenant.
Colvin. Okay, Major Colvin.
I think it's Major Colvin, and he has like a second in command, white
Bunny.
bearded lieutenant guy who has like a crazy. Is that a Baltimore accent? And if it is that why does nobody else have it in the show?
McNulty has a very authentic Baltimore accent. I never noticed
Lieutenant Colvin's a black guy. Are we talking about the right person?
I thought it was a major, but Major Colvin's second in command. He's a white man in his late 50s with facial hair. He's like his right-hand man when they're setting up the free zone. This is some nitty-gritty shit.
Yeah, I was trying to show a picture of people so that they could place him, but
Oh man,
I'm struggling. Like, it's hard to Google Colvin second in command. Let's try it.
well, fuck me. Sorry, guys. I was just trying to figure out if that was because he's
here's
but
Bunny.
it could be maybe it's Philadelphia because he's talking the way like Dennis. He's talking the way like Dennis makes fun of Philly accents from It's Always Sunny, you know. And I didn't know that people from Philly like talk like that for real. I thought it was more like Dennis making fun, and it was. This is the weirdest accent. If I'm probably missing it by like a fucking mile, but it was weird. Like the way that guy in the show was doing it, it sounded nothing like any accent I've ever heard. He's the only guy saying anything like that in the entire show. And he sounds like Dennis making fun of a Philly accent.
When I think Philly accent, I think of Rocky Balboa.
No, I'm sure.
I went to college in Philly. I've been to Philly. They sound like me. Most of them.
Okay, well then Dennis. Then I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy. Maybe he has a speech impediment.
But you have zero accent, Woody. I think you've
I don't know. You
gentrified.
make fun of me all the time about shit I say wrong. That can't be true.
Well, accent has nothing to do with your issue.
Oh, please. Everyone says nuclear in my area.
I mean, none of us really have an
Well,
accent.
if they did, then that would be correct. It is nuclear.
I did it on purpose, though. That's not the one I say. I didn't want anyone to make fun of me.
You're learning.
I mean, Kyle, you escaped the accent game for the most part, Kyle.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've gotten rid of probably like 90% of mine, maybe 85. Yeah.
I'm Midwest.
I grew up in
neutral.
a real.
Everyone understands me.
Grew up in a real rural area. What's that? Oil,
Earl.
foil, moil.
Fire.
Moil. A moil.
We don't say moil too much. We run them folks out of town.
Yeah.
Is it Moyle a Jewish person?
It is.
He's the one who performs the circumcision. Yes. Yep. Fun facts. Fun culture facts. So anyway, The Wire's sick though. I'm really enjoying it. We don't have to talk about that though. I'm almost done with. Or no, I'm like episode 5, season 3, and already it's better than all of season 2 combined.
Oh yeah. It gets better as it
Ziggy
goes.
is the most killable character I've seen in any show for a while.
Ziggy sucks dick.
I hate that character so much.
Least favorite character for sure. Yeah, when you're done with that, we'll recommend something else. I have to think like what you haven't seen that would be like the creme de la creme.
Yeah, I mean, I could always go to Supernatural, but I would be looking more for those ones that people rave about, like Sopranos.
I think you might like Big Love.
I haven't even heard of that.
Big Love is I think Bill Pull. Yeah, I think Bill Pullman is the star, and he has Jean Triplehorn I think plays his wife, and the daughter is played by a girl who's a famous actress now and does a lot of shit. But in any case, Amanda Seyfried, yes, very hot, especially on that show when she's, I don't know, 15, 16. They're Mormons. It's okay.
I like Sister Love. Isn't that Sister Wives? Sister Wives is better than Big Love because it's real. It's a real reality TV show.
Yes.
But Big Love is a drama, so
that takes away the interesting part to me. That's why. But so the other one is it's a guy's married to 3 women, and you see their relationship and the challenges in it. They get chased out of like Utah, I think, and they find their way to Vegas, and he earns a lot of money, and he deals. I don't know, like you see their love life, and like the fat one's a little jealous that he seems to want to have sex with the hot one the most. And I was like, well, yeah, and it's I like. I know it's a reality TV show, but I like the fact that it's at least based in real. It's supposed to be real.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like it's like comparing The Wire to Cops, right? Cops is real. It's real drama. They're actually locking people up, serving and protecting. But, there's no McNulty having a drama with his ex-wife and like she's dating a lawyer or whatever the fuck, and he's like looking down at the lawyer and they're nice like seats right behind the plate while he's up in the mezzanine. You don't get all that because you didn't have a great team of writers just making it up as they went along.
More like The Wire versus 48, where you follow a case a little longer. But yeah,
sure,
I see it.
Yeah, that's a good show though. I like that show a lot. I've seen every episode of that twice. I dig it. Good show. And I didn't know as much about LDS as I did. Like going in, I really didn't know anything about Mormons at all. I was just like, oh yeah, there's really polite people that go door to door. But like the more I learned about it, the cooler it was. Like some of the basis of their religion and how like the polygamists are really like the redheaded stepchildren of that religion, and they go to like a legitimate LDS church, so their polygamy has to be like top secret, and it's a bit like the Americans, that he has this secret that he's always got to keep, like only like close family know, obviously, because you can't hide it from your family, but like everyone else like doesn't know, and so he has to hide the fact that he's got 3 wives in all these inventive ways. It's really fun when like he's with all 3 of his wives, or maybe even just 2, and he has to explain why the 3rd one or the 2nd one is there. It's a lot of fun. It's silly.
Well, I mean, Mormons are good people, so
I mean, sure not so much on this show. There seem like some awful people. He's great. He seems like a nice guy. Like he doesn't cheat. He's respectful. He's a provider. He's always trying to balance his time to like give to each of them. Like he'll pray sometimes, and his prayer, that's where you get a real good insight into like what's going on with him when he's alone by himself praying to God. And they're good prayers. You hear his prayer and you're like, oh, he's praying for like the strength to like show his wife more of his softer side, or like the ability to like instill in his son like the morals that he cares about, or whatever. It's like these really like nice things that he asks for. He's never like, God, if I could just get the other supermart store going, I'd be making $2 million a year. We'd be in the big time. It's never that. It's always like, help me work into my daughter's life and be a part of it before she's gone. It's always good stuff. He's just such a lovable, likable guy in a weird world.
We'll have to check that out after The Wire. Well, that's going to be quite a change of pace. After The Wire and The Sopranos.
Do you watch The Expanse? I know Woody and I are big fans.
No, I've scrolled past it, but I've never watched it. Maybe that's a good one up next.
That might be the way to go.
How many seasons does that have?
I would guess 3 or 4.
Oh,
First couple seasons were made by the Sci-Fi Channel, I believe, and then is it Netflix that bought it?
Amazon,
I think
right?
Amazon, you're right. Yeah. Then Amazon bought it, and then it got great because they've got money and they can curse.
Yeah.
And they can show like top of butt crack. I don't know why they're not showing titties.
That's so ridiculous. Amazon should be showing titties as much as they want.
I'm rewatching The Witcher, and I'd forgotten just how many titties there are. So many titties.
Didn't that show just come out?
Pardon?
Witcher? No.
No, it came out last year.
I really enjoyed The Witcher. I thought it was great. In hindsight, I'm low-key angry what they did with the time changes. Like, what? They filmed The Witcher, and then they played it on shuffle for some fucking reason I can't explain. And you're supposed to watch it on shuffle? Why did you do that? Why?
So I agreed with you 100% the first time I watched it, and I do find it to be confusing. it would have helped a lot if they have just been like a little title thing there that was like 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
That would have solved so many problems. So I don't have a problem with the time jump as much as I do with them not explicitly throwing it out there, because if you don't memorize characters' names right away, you won't get it. Because there's a part where there's a king who had fucked his sister, and then the sister died, and the baby that was in her womb became a monster, and Geralt has to like save that monster and make it a human being girl again. Well, you go back in time and you see that king and his sister as children, and he's kind of like messing with her a little bit, like, and it's sort of this hint that, oh, they've always had a little something going on. And they use the king's name, like, I don't remember his name, but I still don't. See, that's the problem.
They're not normal names. They're extra hard.
They're made up names, Witcher names. Like they're not even like Old English.
Yeah.
It's not even Old English or something like that from our universe. It's made up goofy, woofy, laffy taffy names. but since I'm going through the second time and I really recognize and pick it up, it does help with the character development a little bit. I feel like you learn, you know more about the characters than if it were played in chronological order. But I definitely agree that there should have been a title card or something going 10 years later, 10 years earlier, 10 years later. Like just let me know.
Anyone's watching The Witcher, this is how I watched it. I used like Cliff Notes. I'd watch an episode of The Witcher, and I'd enjoy it and understand, I don't know, 80% of it or something. Then I go to the Wikipedia page and read a paragraph about what I just watched. Be like, aha, all right, I get it now. I'm ready for the next episode. Bring it at me. And I just keep doing that, where I'd sort of, it just sort of fill in the blanks, help me understand the time changes by reading a paragraph.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sharp, especially when it comes to like TV shows and like picking up the little hints and like the way the character's eyes move at a certain point. Like, oh, he doesn't like what that guy said. But with that, I was a little bit fucking confused around episode 3 or so. I was like, well, wait, what? Because they don't age the actors either. Like 10 years pass, but the actors look exactly the same.
Oh, that's annoying. At least
all of the actors. Now it makes sense.
Under their eyes.
It makes sense that Henry Cavill's character, the Witcher, Geralt of Rivia, doesn't age because he's a mutant. But nobody fucking ages. Like nobody ages.
Maybe they're all.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think. Like the humans do. Like Kyle just mentioned, they flip back to them as kids.
In that one instance, but it's different actors, is what I'm saying. Like that there's hired children to like portray the king. But in the instance of, for example, the lioness, the queen, who's like a badass, who her granddaughter is the little girl who's very important to the whole story, and we're always following her. They went back to when before the granddaughter was even born. When her daughter was marrying the hedgehog man.
You look pretty much the same.
Look pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same. Like minor differences, but like she just had fought in a battle. She was all bedraggled. So it was like, but in any case, that's a great show too. I like that show. It's what I'm watching right at the moment.
Have you seen The Witcher, Taylor?
No, I have not. I haven't watched any of that. I
think that's better than some of the other suggestions we've given you.
I do too.
The ones you guys have said, Expanse is tickling my fancy the most.
The Expanse is very cool. It's
Which is kind of up your alley, though.
It
As
is
a guy
fantasy,
that liked
yeah.
Game of Thrones before it was terrible and still likes
Lord of the Rings.
The Expanse is sci-fi with just a little bit of fantasy, and The Witcher is fantasy with just a little bit of sci-fi.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Witcher. So essentially, like Cliff Notes, a Witcher is a mutant that has been made using magic to make a human being into a superhuman being for the purposes of fighting monsters. And our main character
based on the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think the game might be based on some sort of literature, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would assume a book or something, unless they're just making it straight from a game, which didn't work out for Halo.
They didn't make a Halo movie.
Yeah, I thought they made a Halo movie that sucked.
No, they made a like a Halo. That wasn't a movie. They made some live action stuff, but there was a point where Peter Jackson was attached to make a Halo movie, and for whatever reason, it fell apart. I don't think it was that it got disillusioned on Peter Jackson's part. I think there were some funding issues and some timing issues and studio nonsense. A lot of the props that were going to be used in the Halo movie that Peter Jackson was making ended up being used in District 9, that Blomkamp movie.
I haven't seen that movie in forever, but I remember liking it.
Yeah, they made that on such a shoestring budget. Like, I don't recall what it is, but like, it looks like $100 million movie, and I think they made it for 10 or 12.
Well, good for them. They probably made a lot of money.
But yeah, I'd watch The Witcher if I were you. But I love The Expanse because I love sci-fi, and it's like a mix between it reminds me of Firefly a little bit. It's sort of like cowboys mixed with like astronauts, like doing their thing. And there's like 3 different factions. There's the Earthlings and the Martians and the Belters, the people who live out on the asteroid belt and are primarily miners. And they've lived out there so long, their physiology is altered. You know, they're all long and lanky and don't have muscle tone because they live in low grav. It's cool shit.
Nice. Their bones are not strong.
They're low bone density.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going for.